Hey guys, today I'm gonna teach you how to get over someone that you're obsessed with. And trust me, I'm the right person for that because I've been obsessed with so many people over the course of my life, and I had to learn how to get over these obsessions because I did it so many times. And I found out 4 ways in which someone can get over their obsession. So, first and foremost, is switching from a dopamine system, and I'm going to explain what that means, to a serotonin oxytocin system. So, when you have a dopaminergic personality, you're more prone to being obsessed with people. You're having like an obsessive personality because dopamine is the hormone that makes you not satisfied with what you currently have and is the hormone of desire. And obsession, what it means, is an intense desire for something that you don't currently have, having that hope that you might actually get that. So it's not hopelessness, it's like desire for possibility. And it's imagining this future of possibility with that person in this case. It could be with a certain situation, like if you're obsessed with getting a job or anything else, it works the same way. So oxytocin and serotonin, on the other hand, are the hormones that make you live in the here and now, that make you satisfied with what you have. So, for instance, at the beginning of the relationship, in the honeymoon phase, there's a lot of dopamine because you're not, first of all, you're not sure you have that person. It's like a bit indecisive, and it's like you imagine all these things that are going to happen with this person. So there's like a lot of dopamine, which creates that excitement and honeymoon phase. Then as the relationship progresses, as it gets more secure, as you get to know each other and it's more like stable, it switches from that honeymoon dopamine phase to an oxytocin serotonin phase, where you don't have that excitement that you had in the beginning. You're just satisfied. It's another kind of love. It's more like of a friendly love. You're happy with what you have in this moment. And when you're obsessed with someone, you're on the dopamine system. And if you're on the dopamine system, it means you have an obsessive personality, a dopaminergic personality, which means you need to get more on the serotonin, oxytocin side. And you do this by, it's a process, but you need to start being grateful for what you have in this moment. So you need to enjoy, be like, literally just practice gratefulness for what you have. Like, I have a roof over my head, I live in this beautiful city, I have friends, I have this, I have that, and just being satisfied with what you have. The second step, and this is something that a lot of people are going to contradict me when I say this. I think it doesn't work maybe for everyone, but it does work for me, and I know that it works for some other people. And it's when you're obsessed with someone, the reason you're obsessed with them is because you still have that hope that something is going to happen between you two, And it's like, and you're trying to deny your obsession. You're trying to deny, or like, no, I shouldn't be obsessed with them, and so on. But you telling yourself you shouldn't be doing something just makes it more appealing to you actually doing that thing. So you're actually more prone to being obsessed with someone if you're trying not to be obsessed with them, and if you still have that hope that something is going to happen. So what I recommend doing is killing that hope, and you do this by taking action towards that person. So do whatever you need to do. If you still think that, what if I did this? What if I do that? What if I, okay, do it. You think if you text them, if you, sleep with them one more time, if you do this or that, things are going to change, do it. Prove yourself that nothing is going to happen, Like, show yourself. Or, sometimes we're obsessed with people because we think, the person would be in a certain way in a relationship, but we don't know how they would be, you know? And it's like we idealize this person. So it's like, give it a try, you know? Like, call them, text them, see them for who they truly are. And for instance, in my case, I was obsessed with this guy because like we had a really short interaction and then it ended abruptly. And I kept thinking, like, what if I did this? What if I did that? Maybe he's a cool person. You know, I idealized him in my head. And then, when the universe brought us back together, like we met by mistake, and I started talking to him again, and I realized how, like, not interesting he is and how he's narcissistic and what of a douchebag he is, and I was not attracted to him anymore, you know, when I kind of saw him for who he truly is. But this involves me accepting that I'm obsessed with that person. So I accept, yes, I'm obsessed with the guy. No, I shouldn't text him. No, I shouldn't follow him on Instagram. Like, you know, I was having all this debate in my head, like, I shouldn't, like, he did this, like, things ended like this, I shouldn't have been doing that, da-da-da-da-da. So you know what I did? I just did it. I just took action. I was like, you know what? I accept that I'm obsessed with him and I'll follow him on Instagram. So he texted me, we talked, and then I realized, you know, my obsession kind of died because it's like once you get the thing that you're obsessed about, you're not obsessed about it anymore. It's how it works. So it's like, okay, so he's not actually that big of a deal and that interesting. I just literally put him on a pedestal and idealized him. So the third step is seeing him for seeing them, because maybe it's a girl, for who they truly are. So seeing their ugly sides. I want them to stop seeing them as this unicorn, perfect, idealized version in your head. Take them down the fucking pedestal and see them for who they truly are. I want you to see their flaws. I want you to see, you know, like their human qualities. Like, don't idealize them in your head. And fourth is I want you to see and write down exactly what you are obsessed about. So, are you obsessed are you obsessed about them because maybe they're popular? Maybe they give you a lot of attention. Maybe they have a group of friends and you don't, or they have an interesting life and you know you appreciate them for having an interesting life and you want to have an interesting life, so you get with them because you appreciate that. So I want you to observe what makes you obsessed with this person. And it's like specifically with this person. Because for instance, if you say, oh, I'm obsessed with cuddles, right? With the cuddles, the intimacy. It's like you can get cuddles from anyone, okay? So tell me exactly why you're obsessed with this specific particular person. And when you find those things out, I want you to start building your life in a way that integrates those things. So, as I said, for example, I'm really obsessed. I used to be really obsessed with this guy I was telling you about because he had such an interesting life. You know, like he had like a group of friends. He would travel. He would party. Like he was, you know, just like popular, and he basically had the life that I wanted to have. So I wanted to be part of his life in a way. And that's why I was so obsessed with him. And I was like, okay, let me see how I can take those qualities that I appreciate in him and integrate them in my life. So I started making my own life more interesting. And trust me, even if you have no friends at this moment, even if until now you didn't have an interesting life, you can still, from this moment on, create an interesting life, because I was in the same exact situation and I even moved countries and I had to start from zero all over again. And you know, like I was back in Romania, I had like 3 friends maximum, which I would go out with maybe like twice a month. I was like really introverted. I didn't really go out. I didn't have an interesting life, okay? So I made my life fucking interesting. I like I made a lot of friends, or not friends, but like party friends or whatever, going out friends. Like I went in the right group, I started traveling, I said yes to every opportunity. I started going to courses, to camps, to whatever. I started doing a lot of things just to make my life more interesting. And at some point it just goes naturally. It's like, okay, after you make effort, at some point like you don't need to make effort anymore, because things just happen naturally. Or you still have to make effort, but things happen more naturally, I wanted to say. It's like, even if your life is not interesting right now, trust me, I've been there twice. Because then I moved to London and I was like, well, I don't have any friends here. So I needed to start from scratch again. And I managed to make my life interesting again. Like I had one friend, right? So I would go clubbing with that person. We would make friends in the club. And then we would grow as a group. And then we'd meet more people. We'd go to house parties. We went traveling together. So it's like, you need to really open yourself up. And it's like, yes, you have to get out of your fucking comfort zone, to make your life more interesting. But this is not what this video is about. It's about how to stop obsessing over someone. But yeah, that was my experience. And the moment, or for instance, a lot of people are attracted to people that have their suppressed qualities, like that express their shadow self. So for instance, if you're a good girl, you'll be attracted to a bad guy. So if you're really, let's say, kind and well-spoken, and you're trying to be nice to everyone, you're suppressing your aggression, your arrogance, your narcissism, all these negative qualities, you're most likely going to be attracted to someone like a bad boy that expresses those things. Like, maybe they're arrogant, maybe they're like overly confident, maybe even aggressive. Like, they express the things that you don't express. And it's natural, it's psychology. If you're really shy, you're gonna be attracted to someone that's more bubbly and confident, because it's like, that's your shadow personality, and you want, your subconscious mind is attracted to your shadow because it wants you to integrate those things. So if you're obsessed with someone, the best piece of advice that I have for you is see why you are obsessed with them, and instead of being obsessed like in terms of I want to be with this person, see how can I become like this person. Be obsessed with how can I transform myself so I have the qualities that I'm obsessed with in this person. So for instance, I'll give you another example. When I was in Spain, I met this guy. I swear to God, I've never met such a charming, charismatic person in my entire life. While I was talking to him, I almost fell on the ground. Like, I felt my knees going weak, because I've never encountered someone with so much fucking charm, with so much charisma, like his way of talking, his body language, everything. And I actually recorded him on video, which is funny. And I was obsessed with this person for a while, and I was like, holy shit, like I want them. And then I realized, I don't want them. I want to be like them, And I was looking at his Instagram, like he's traveling, he has many friends, he has like that Pinterest life, that you see on my Pinterest board, with a group of friends going out, adventure, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, holy shit, like I want to be like him, not necessarily with him. And that was a huge switch for me. That was like the biggest breakthrough that I had. It's like, I don't actually want him, I want to be like him. I want his life. So what can I do to make my life like his? What can I do to become charismatic like him, charming like him? I analyzed him so much. I literally started writing down like his qualities and why I like him. And once you break this down like logically, and you see, oh, so this is why I'm obsessed with them, It's like they have these qualities and I really like that and I'm really attracted to that, And it's like, once you understand this logically, the mystery that person has, because to be obsessed with someone, there has to be this element of unknown, of mystery, and it's like, once you break it down, it's like, and you see why it's happening, you won't be so attracted to them anymore, you won't be so obsessed with them anymore, And when you get those things that you wanted from them in the first place, they won't attract you. They won't attract you. There's another element to it as well, and this applies to everyone. When you're, let's say, obsessed with someone, you have an interaction with them, or after a breakup, whatever, this person causes a lot of chemical reactions in you. So you release dopamine, you release oxytocin, you release serotonin, you release different hormones. So the kissing, the sex, whatever, it's like when you get away from them, it's like a withdrawal, and it's normal to want it back. And if you tell me, oh, I'm obsessed with them because I want the kisses and the cuddles back or whatever, it's you need to take some time, first of all, because it's like a drug addict. They need to go to rehab and not use cocaine for a while to get over it. And it's also, you need to replace that with something else. So okay, I'm not having sex with them, I'm not hanging out with them anymore. How can I get that dopamine and oxytocin in another way that depends on me, not on them or on other people? You can have whatever strategy works best for you. So it's like, how can I produce that dopamine, oxytocin by myself? And you can do that by giving yourself love in the first place, and that's really important, like nurturing your inner child and loving your inner child, talking to them, making them feel safe, and it's like, I'm here, you don't need them. Like maybe a few months ago I didn't even know this person existed, or a few years ago I could live without them again, because it's like I lived without them before, I can live without them again. And it's like giving yourself that love, that affection, that validation. It's a lot of times it's about validation, and it's like, ask yourself, how can you validate yourself, okay? And I think that's about it for today. 17 minutes, holy shit. I've talked a lot, so I think it's a lot of information, and try to just take some time to just let it settle and see what resonates with you. When I said, for instance, not everything that I said applies to everyone. So, for instance, when I said, okay, take action to kind of kill that hope. So like if you want to text them again, for some people it could work better, like the no contact rule. But like see what works for you. Don't take my word for it. Try it yourself. Okay, guys, so lots of love. Thank you for listening to me. Thanks for the people that listen from the beginning to the end. I know it's a long video, and I hope this information was useful. Tell me what you want my next videos to be about, and lots of love.